Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to Dupi Animations, and it's your boy Leonard. And I want to use this moment to thank all my subscribers for their continuous supports and their comments. So today we are going to create a Golden Award template showcase by using CC Ball Action plugin only. It is going to be a simple arrangement that can be used in promotional videos, program outros and intros, celebrities, profile edits, and so on and so forth. So let's open After Effects and start something. All right, so we have our After Effects open. First, let's create a new composition. Let's name it Balls. Balls, a dimension of 2080 by 2080. Okay. So we have our composition, Balls composition here. Let's create a new solid layer. New solid layer, make it comp size. Let me choose a color within. Okay, so this, I think this is okay. Okay. So now let's go to Effects and type CC Ball Action. Okay, let's apply it onto it. Now let's come to the ball action settings. Let me see, grid spacing. Let's go something like 10. Then the ball size, let me see, 41. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is okay. 41 is okay. All right. Now let's insert in an adjustment layer. Let's right click in, new, adjustment layer. Then let's apply something like light sweep, CC, light sweep. Okay, so that's it over here. So let's apply it. Okay, you see that? All right, so now let's widen the width. Let's widen it a bit. Then something like 150. 150 is okay for the width. Let me see. I think it's okay. 255. 255 is okay. All right. So now this is what we are going to do. We are going to rotate the angle of the light sweep. Okay, we are going to rotate it all around. Okay. All right, let me undo, reset it. So hit E for effects, then bring out the CC light sweep. Then set a key on direction. Okay. Then come to something like 20 seconds. Then go on direction, completion. Type something like 5. So let's see what we have. Okay. So now that you are done with this, if still you want to apply some stuff to it, you can still insert new adjustment layer, then apply maybe something like curve. Okay, curve to it. Okay, then maybe on something like red, let's go up a bit. Then green, let's go up a bit more. We are trying to get that good feel. Then blue, let's come down a bit. So something like this, let's leave it like this, it's okay. Okay, all right. Now let's create another composition. Let's name this one phase 1. Phase 1. Okay, all right. Now what you are going to do is we will click and drag balls composition into phase 1. All right. Now let's go for the rules or rulers. Show rulers. What you are going to do is we are going to carve a polygon face out of the balls here. Okay, so let's use the rules as measurements here. Okay, all right. So now let's go for the pen tool. Then maybe click here, click here, click here, click here, then click here. Okay. Then the next thing to do is position it at the last end of the lines. Okay, in order to get the right measurement. Okay. This one, there's a bit of what? Curveness here. So let me take that off. All right. So now you have this. A perfect polygon. So select the boss, then hit M to bring out the mask. Then duplicate it to have mask 2. Okay. After that, just double click to select mask 2. Then hold the shift key, then drag it in. You see that? After that, position it, the second one in the middle wall. It's 2 things, so let me scale it in a bit more, then position it. So somewhere here is okay. All right. So now you have 2 masks 2. So the second one, come to its attribute here, and instead of add, select subtract. You see that? Okay. So now let's create another composition. Let's name this one phase 2. Phase 2. And this one, this is what you are going to do here. Let's click and drag the ball inside here again. And this one, we are going to use a solid layer as the base for the measuring. Okay, because the polygon that you are going to create here will be smaller than the phase 1. Okay, so let's right click in and select new. Solid layer, let me choose a color, maybe something like blue. Okay, then the width, something like 1080 by 1080. Okay, then let's select OK. So the solid layer is going to be the base to measure our polygon that we are going to create. So let's set the rules. Okay, let me lock the solid layer, then select the balls. Then let's go for the pen tool. So let's click here, 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 then here, then here. Okay, so watch this. You just select a key point, then position it at where the polygon line is. So let's position them there. You see that? Okay. So now let's off the polygon, then you have this. Okay. Now hit M for the max 1, then duplicate max 1 to have max 2. Then double click on the max to select the max 2, then scale it in. Then let's position it in the middle here. Okay, and position it well. So this is okay. So like the previous one, let's select, instead of add, let's select subtract to subtract it. Okay. All right. Now we are done with phase 1 and phase 2. Now let's create a composition. Then name this one picture 1. Then maybe the size will be what? Something like 1500 by 1500. Okay. Then duplicate it something like 3 times. Okay, so now let's open all the picture composition. So we have 4 picture composition here. Now let's bring in the assets or materials to be used. So I have these images here. Let me drag them in. Okay. So on picture 1, let me bring a picture. Let me scale it down. Let's come to picture 2. Let's bring the next one. Scale it down. Picture 3. The next one. Scale it down. Picture 4. The next one. Let's scale it down. All right. So now we have everything in place. We have the pictures, the faces. Okay. Let me close these things. All right. So now let's create a new composition again. Then name this one animation 1. Then the size, let's go for HD 1920 by 1080. Let's click OK. The duration is too long, so let me cut it to something like 20 seconds. So it's okay. Now let's begin our work. Okay. What you are going to do is we are just going to arrange the faces. Okay. So let me bring in face 1. Okay. Then make it 3D. All right. Then maybe let me change the camera view to something like custom view 1. Then duplicate face 1. Then push it backwards. Duplicate. Then push it backwards again. Okay. Now let me come to the active view. So you have something like this. If it's not enough for you, the top one, you can still push it back, hit P, then you push it backwards. Okay, so you have something like this. And select this one, hit P, then push it also backwards. All right. So the one on top, which is the first one, duplicate it, then hold the Alt key on the top one, then bring face 2 to replace it. So you have something like this. Then you bring face 2 to the top, all right? Then hit P on phase 2, then bring it out, phase 2 out. Okay, so you have something like this. Now let's bring in the camera, new, right click in new, then come to camera. Okay, so now we have camera in the scene now. All right, now let's push everything backwards. Let's select all the faces, then push them backwards. Let me switch to custom view 1, then push everything backwards. Then let me come to active. Okay. So now the one at the bottom, let's scale it out. Hit S to scale it out so that it will be bigger. Okay. The following one, hit S to scale it also up. Then you bring the top one, phase 2, you bring it out, phase 2 out. Okay. The one at the bottom, hit T, then make it transparent. Something like 30. 30 is okay. All right. Okay, so now let's leave it like this for now. Let's create a background. So let's right click in new, solid layer. Let's choose black. Okay, let's bring it down. Then come to effect and select gradient ramp. Okay, gradient ramp and apply it. Now change it, come to its attribute, then change from linear ramp to radial ramp. Then bring the darker side to the middle. Okay. Then the outer part, change the outer part to black. Then the inner part, go something like a dark yellow. Something like a dark yellow. Okay. Then stand on its effect position of the outer color, then push it out. Okay. So you have something like this. Maybe the inner one, let me make it a little bit brighter. Okay, so this is okay. Let's see what we have. So from here, let's bring in the first picture. Okay, which is picture 1. So I'll duplicate phase 2 here, then hold the Alt key, then drag picture 1 to replace the duplicated one. Okay, then let's scale it down. Something like this is okay. Let me place it underneath phase 2. Okay, so what you do here is just pick the pen tool, then cut the face of the picture 1. Cut, click here, click here, click here, then click here. Just like that. Then you position it, the key points, you adjust them well. Okay, just adjust the key points well. So you have something like this. Position. Let me go a bit backwards. A bit backwards. Then scale it up small. Voila. So you have this, something like this. If it's the image that we want to insert here, okay? But for now, it's not the image that we will insert. We will insert an info rather. But let's use this one as a placeholder, okay? So select the camera, then hit P for position, okay? Then let's come to something like hit C to change the camera face to a zoom-in camera. So you have a zoom-in camera. You see this? Anytime you hit C, the camera face or cursor changes. You hit C, it changes to rotation, it changes to pan, then it changes to zoom in again. Okay. So I want when it ends, it will be this, it will look like something like this. Okay. So I'll first set a key on something like 6 seconds. Let me set a key there. Then come to the beginning. Then hit C to zoom out. See that? So once you have done this, just select the key points. Then easy ease them. Okay. Then go to graph editor. Then pull one side in. Okay. Then you have something like this. Okay. It's simple and easy. Okay. So this is the first one. But instead of picture, we are going to use, let me off the picture. Then select the fix too. Then duplicate it. Then there's an image here that I use. Hold the Alt key, then use the image to replace it. Okay, then scale it down. So something like 35. Let's see, 35. The size is okay. So this is okay. Okay. So now the bottom one, okay, this particular one, hit the opacity, then make it something like 50. Then duplicate it. Then blow it up or scale it. Let's scale it. Then hit the position. Then bring it outwards a bit. So let me see once this one is coming. So also come. So you have something like this. Okay. So now if you have an information that you want to insert, just insert the information. Just type award show. Okay. Then make it 3D. So let me position it in the middle here. Then scale it up. Okay. So once we are done with that, what you do is hit P on the image, then select its Z position, then copy it. Then come to the text, hit P, then paste it on the text Z position. Okay. Then enter, so that it will be in line with the image. All right. Then let's scale the text down a bit more. Then let me move it upwards so that it will fit inside the empty space there. All right. So this is how our final work is. You see that? You see a simple golden intro animation. All right. So now that you have created the entire thing, the only thing left now is the particles. And so is the CC ball action that I'm going to use. So let's right click in, new, solid layer. Then let's go for something like a color of yellow to orange. Let's click OK. Okay, let me bring it down. All right. Then come to effects, then type CC ball action, then apply it. Like how the previous one was the same thing here. So the grid spacing, let's go 10. Or simply you can go and copy from the ball scum and come and paste it here. If you don't want to do this all over again. Then maybe ball size, let's go something like 41. Okay. Then you just scatter it. Something like 800. See that? 800. So 800 is okay. Then let's hit effects. Under CC ball action, rotation, let's change the axle to something like XYZ. Okay, XYZ. Then on rotation, let's set a key. Then come to something like 10 seconds, then type something like 1. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay. I think the particles are too speedy, so let me reduce it to something like 180. 180 will be okay. Okay. So now you see, I think this is way better. All right. So guys, this is how I set up the entire arrangement. Simple arrangement. Okay. If you think that the particle speed is too much, you can still reduce it. All right. Now let's come to the browser, then duplicate animation 1 to have animation 2. Now let's open animation 2. Then on animation 2, what we are going to do is we are going to take out the image and the text. Let's off them, then bring out the picture. Okay. So this will be for animation 2. Okay. This particular scene with the picture will be for animation 2. All right. Even if you do some changes, you just bring the, let me link, you just bring, where's the test? Okay, this is the test. So let me link the test to the lower third picture there, then bring it down. Okay, underneath the image, then maybe scale it down. Let me scale it down a bit. Okay, so this is okay. So with this, you have your animation 2. Okay, now let's duplicate animation 2 to have animation 3. Let's open animation 3. So with animation 3 open, what we are going to do is we are going to reanimate the camera a bit. Okay, so hit P on camera. Once you have cleared all the keys from it, this is what you are going to use. So let me hit C for pan, then move it to this side. Okay, then set a key there. Still here, let me zoom in a bit. Let me zoom in a bit more. Then push it here. Okay. So let me bring the timeline forward. Then move the image out. Okay. Somewhere like this. Let me see. Okay. I think this is okay. Select the key points, ease them. Then go to graph editor. Then move one side in. Okay. Then let's move this one also in. Let's see what we have. Okay, you see that? Slowly. Then it come and land at that particular end there. With this particular scene, is based on what you want. You can decide to insert a null object. Okay, you can decide to insert a null object, then apply separate XYZ to it. It will still work. Okay. Easy. So if you don't like this style, let me see, there's another style. So let's duplicate animation 2 to have animation 4. Animation 4 is going to be based on animation 3 style. Okay. So let's insert in a new null object. Okay. Let's insert in null object. Then make it 3D. Then link the camera. Okay. Let's link the camera to it. Then name it cam control, then enter. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to apply an effect called separate XYZ to the cam control. So instead of using the raw camera to animate, we are going to use this effect rather to manipulate it. So hit E on cam control to bring out the effect. Then on X position, let's move the entire image to the left side. Then position, zoom in a bit. Okay, so I think this one will be easier for you guys. Okay, then set a key on something like 6 seconds. Let's set a key there. You can set all the keys. Then bring the timeline forward. Okay, then move. I think there's animation on the camera. Let me see. Yeah, let me take the animation off the camera. Okay, then move the timeline forward. On X, on separate XYZ position, move the image to the left side. So you have something like this. You see that? Okay. So you can select the two keys. Okay. Then easy ease them. Then go to graph editor. Then pull one side in. So this one will come in fast and land slowly. Okay, you see that? Then you go and land at the last corner there. Okay, all right. So now what I noticed that the beginning here, you see that here is empty. You can still fill that particular place if you want. Just duplicate the last end there, Control D, then the last one, just scale it up. Okay, just scale it up. Then hit opacity, then go something like 15 or 10. So this will do. Okay, so from here, you can move the plate to the left side here. Position it somewhere here. Okay. If it's the person's name that you want to type, you can type it there. So you see, this setup is rather easier than the first one I was doing. Okay. So the next one, the image will go and land on the left side instead of the right side. Okay. So now let's go to our browser. Then select duplicate animation 4. So we have animation 5. Then on animation 5, the same trick, like how we did with animation 4. But in this case, we are going to switch places. So let's take out the animation, then move the image to the left side here. Okay. Now let me move the plate to the right side. So now we have the image on the left side. Okay. So let's set the keys. All right. Now let me zoom in a bit. So the beginning, we move the image to where? The right side. So now let's go. Let's go. So this is okay. So now let's set the two keys, easy ease them. Then go to graph editor, then move one side in. Okay, just move one side in. Then curve it well. So now let's see what we have. Okay. So folks, you see how easy it is. There's nothing difficult about it, just a simple arrangement to do whatever work that you want to do. You can design something simple like this and you are gone. Instead of applying so many effects and stuff, simple, then you are gone. Okay, so now the final one, I'll duplicate animation 2 to have animation 6. Okay, so hit P on the camera, then take out the animation keys on the camera. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. We are going to zoom out. So hit C on camera to bring out the zooming tool, then you zoom out maybe to this point. Then you set a key at the beginning. Then something like 6 seconds, you bring out the image towards us. Okay. All right. So this one, the coming in, what you do is, let me change the angle to custom view 1. Okay. So now, let me select, okay, this particular one. Let me duplicate it, then move it in front here. Okay. Duplicate it again, then move it again. Now let's come to active view. So you see, once this one is coming, it will be coming towards us. Let me hit P on it. So you see, something like this. So select the entire keys, then easy ease them. Then go to graph editor, like always, move one side in. And adjust it well. So you have something like this. All right. So guys, this is how I set up the entire template. Okay. All right. So now let's do the final one, which is the final, where we are going to do the arrangement. So let's name this one final. Then click OK. So let's bring in animation 1 first. Okay. Animation 1, so it to come in, then maybe let's stop here. Okay, let me just drag this one in to cut it. Animation, let me check animation 3 and check how the style is. Okay, so I'll go in for animation 3. Please, the style is different from the previous one, the first one. So let me see. So animation 3, let's see. I'll start it from here. Then it will come and land. Okay. Let me open animation 3, then move the plate to the left side. Okay. So now let me duplicate animation 3. Let me see the next one. Let me use animation 6. Let me hold the Alt key, then replace it. Here. Duplicate this one. Then maybe animation 4. Hold the Alt key, then replace it. So this is enough. Okay, this is enough. All right. So now you have how I set up the template. You see, this one comes in, this one will show, this one will go, read another one, then this one will come. So now let's create the transition, the interlooping point between the compositions. All right. So now let me create new adjustment layer. So from here to here, cut it. And from here to here to, let me cut it. Okay. So now go to Effect and select Lens Flare. Lens Flare, then apply it. Okay. So the middle here, that's the interlocking point. Let's come to Effect, hit E to bring out the effect on the adjustment layer. Then the brightness level, let's go high. Okay. After going high on it, then you come to the left side. You set a key in the middle here for the center stage. That's flare center. Then you come to the left side. Then you move the flare out on the left side. Then you move the timeline to the right side. Then you move it also out. So you have something like this. You see that? It just passed to bring the next in. So you can just duplicate this one, duplicate it, then move it here. Okay. Duplicate this one also. Then move one here. Okay. So this is okay. So now let's see what we have, our final project. All right. So now you see how simple everything is. Because of time 6, so I had to rush to show you guys how I set it up. But in case if you are creating it from scratch, please take your time to do the arrangements and set everything properly. Okay. But I decided to keep it simple so that the work will be quick. All right. So guys, this comes to the end of another tutorial. All right. I'd love to hear your comments and more. All right. And please kindly subscribe to the channel. All right. See you next time.